All right, everybody, we are back. My next guest created one of television's most inventive programs, The X-Files. Now he has a new comedy series entitled The Lone Gunman. Please welcome Chris Carter. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. It's a nice night to be here. Lovely ladies. My hair is looking crazy. It's my tribute to Eraserhead tonight. I hope you enjoy it. Let's start off by saying, let's talk about X-Files for just a second, because it's such a landmark show. Such a different show than I think any other show that had come before it. And I would imagine that whenever you bring something new to a network, they try and, well, especially standards, they get scared.
Right.
They're afraid.
Right.
They have probably tried to stop you certain times from putting certain things on the air. Do you have problems like that? Because you're Chris Carter now, you know? Can you win those battles?
There's lots of nervousness about blood and gore and stuff, but Stephen King wrote an episode called Ching, and the standards people were really upset about the title. They said that's a bad word in Spanish, some bad slang word. And we argued, and finally they wouldn't let us use the word ching. They wouldn't let us use the name Ching. So,
Stop saying that word. Our standards lawyer is Spanish right now.
So we called the episode Bung Honey instead, and...
Seriously?
That means nothing in Spanish.
And that got through?
That's what the episode is called now.
That's great, because that's very true. I don't think people know that, but the standards lawyers often will object to one thing. You'll put in something much worse, and they'll go, well, that's better. And it's just, I don't know why.
Yeah.
You have a new show now, The Lone Gunman.
Lone Gunman.
It's a comedy.
Right.
Tell us about it.
It's a spin-off of the X-Files. It stars the three computer geeks that you may all know if you're X-Files fans. Mm-hmm. It's on Sundays at 9 o'clock. It's going to take the X-Files time slot for 3 weeks, and then it's going to go to Fridays at 9, which is the old X-Files time slot. Anyway, it's kind of the X-Files turned on its head. It's a comedy with some drama in it, so don't be afraid to laugh.
Please, I'm telling them that all the time. Please, don't be afraid to laugh. It's how I start my monologue often. Who do you identify with comedically, or who influenced you comedically? What was there a TV show, a comedy that spoke to you as a kid?
So many things as a kid. Rocky and Bullwinkle. I have to say Gilligan's Island was my big influence.
Seriously, I think you should leave now. No. No, it's funny because Gilligan's Island was hated at the time by TV critics, but it's a show that everyone in my generation grew up with. We all thought it was great.
I love that show.
Who did you like the most on Gilligan's Island? Who did you think was the coolest guy?
Well, not the skipper. He wrecked the boat. And,
yeah.
Not Gilligan, because he was the skipper's little buddy.
Right. Which had a creepy overtone. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which standards just let right through. Yeah.
Homoerotic thing. Bung Honey.
Yeah. Okay. Why, Chris? Why?
I'd have to say the professor.
You like the professor. Why?
You know, smart.
Well, two people just agreed with you out of a random 210 sampling, so why the professor?
You know, smart is sexy, and I think the professor is actually getting it much more than anybody else in the island.
Well, I would agree with you, except he shares that island with a multi-millionaire.
That's true. Although he did lose.
I think he would probably do a little better than anybody else on the island. That's just sad but true. What about, you said that this show that you're doing now combines drama and comedy.
Right.
You have another show that's a very successful drama. Have you ever thought, there's this reality craze now. Everyone's saying, what's the new reality show? Have you ever thought, I'm going to invent a reality show. I'm going to do one of those and try and ride this wave?
Yeah, I actually came up with one where a family will go to the producers and ask that someone in their family be kidnapped. And then you get $1 million, and you can decide whether or not you actually want that person back.
No one would ever ask for that person back. They would just keep the $1 million.
Exactly.
It's the meanest show I've ever heard of. I'll do it with you if I can share in the profits and keep this hair. There's a paranoia that emanates from the X-Files. It's just, And it's made me think that maybe that you are a paranoid person yourself. Do you think you are?
Basically.
Really? You tend to believe that there are forces out there trying to destroy you?
I know that there are forces.
It's called the network. Yeah. Well, they don't really count. They're not as bright as the aliens. The aliens can actually travel through time and space. These people can't put their suits on. None of this will air. I'll be replaced by a robot tomorrow. Buy NBC goods. General Electric, good. Do you have any idea where that sense of paranoia would come from? Was there anything in your childhood? Do you think you had any experience as a kid that would make you be paranoid?
I've told this story before, and no one really believes it. When I was growing up, I got home from, I came home to dinner late one night, and my dad actually made me sit in the street and eat my dinner on the manhole cover.
What?
So.
No, I'm like, that's a hard thing to laugh at. First of all, was this a pretty quiet street, or are you on a highway? You know, it's pretty hard to eat your pudding when Mack trucks are passing you on either side.
You develop certain senses or sensibilities when you're...
You really ate your dinner off a manhole cover.
It was in a cul-de-sac, so it wasn't so dangerous, but...
Right.
Going for seconds was always a little risky.
You were dodging traffic the whole way.
I was a scrawny.
Yeah, well, then you're excused for creating the X-Files and having that paranoid vision, I would think. The Lone Gunman, this new show, premieres this Sunday night at 9 o'clock on Fox, and it was really great having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for making time for us.
Thank
Chris Carter, everybody. We'll take a little break. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Conan's website has been working so well. Now we're getting all the bugs out and making it even more better. You'll find last night's monologue, the Fan Network, who's going to be on and who's not. Plus Clips Ahoy with satellite TV. And classic Conan is even classier. Now if they made it as even more breeding. It's the new, more better, improved way to get right up close to Conan. Check it out, man, at NBC.com. The boss wore himself out on this one.
Well, all right, everybody, that is our show of the night. I do want to thank all my guests. Chris Carter, thank you very much for being here. Nice to have you on the program. My thanks to Jill Hennessy for being here. Jill. My thanks to Heidi Klum for joining us. Heidi. They're so pretty. And, of course, Max Weinberg and the Max Weinberg 7. Stay tuned.
If it hurts to wear a thong, Raymond's here, Raymond's here. I'll apply this cream, the pain won't last long. Raymond's here to help.
Raymond, please stop it.
Miss Klum, I've seen all your pictures in the Sports Illustrated, and you are the prettiest one.
Thank you.
Yes.
I keep that for later. You never know, right?
You never know, it's true, but he didn't want any, the fool. You and I do know.
Stop ad-libbing, Raymond.
Miss Klum, I fantasize about your pictures.
Okay, Raymond, stop.
No, it's true, I do fantasize about them, Tony. But if only, Heidi, if only, yeah. Yeah, I am sorry, baby. You're pretty and all, but you're just not what Raymond needs. So you have that to remember me by, and how about you give me a little kiss? Oh, yeah.